Hi, y'all. Welcome back to the show. We just need to chat. I feel like we have so much to catch up on. A nice, good old solo episode. Now that I'm in my new house, I'll be doing a ton more solo episodes. I actually want to do like a whole podcast rebrand. That's like a whole other topic. But I really just want to focus on the solo episodes, the episodes with my friends that you guys love, and just, like the good old, I don't know, like really cozy kind of vibe. Mainly, one of the biggest reasons I bought this house is because I want like a podcast studio here. But I have some other ideas on it. I might like make a entryway into like a makeshift little like studio area. And then, I don't know, I'm not going to bore you guys with these details. But anyways, I'm happy that you guys are here. If y'all are watching on YouTube, welcome to my living room. I finally have a fireplace. If you guys have watched the vlogs, oh my gosh, I'm like out of breath. I don't know how. I literally have been talking for a minute. But anyways, if you guys have been watching the vlogs, then you would know this has been quite the journey. I have bought some fake fireplaces, and they have never once looked good in my house. Actually, I only bought one, to be fair. And it didn't look good. It was not the vibe. And it would probably look cute like somewhere else. It was cute, but it just like wasn't it. You know what I mean? But anyways, I am in a new house. I moved, I think a month ago now. Most of my stuff has arrived. No, 2 months ago? A month ago. 6 weeks ago. Whatever. No one cares. Most of my stuff has arrived besides like my outdoor furniture and then my closet. Oh my God, guys, my closet. It's literally like, this is like a dream. This is my dream house. And I found it like kind of on accident. It was the last one. I was looking for fun. And then, not for fun. I was looking, but I wasn't like, I have to move at this point. I own the townhouse, so I wasn't like on like a lease or anything. I was just like, I'm looking, I've outgrown the space, and really I needed a space like for the podcast. I needed a second bedroom because I host people all the time, and I needed a house that was better for hosting. Like, I'm a breadwinning housewife, you know what I mean? Like, I've gotta, minus the wife part, but like I've gotta, have some room and space to do those things. So anyways, it was like the last one on the second day that we went, the first day that we went looking actually. And we weren't even going to look at it because like the photos online weren't that great and it looked totally different. And it was in a different area than I had planned to move to, which by the way, I'm so grateful that I ended up moving there because the place that I thought I wanted to move to, I'm just glad that I don't live there. So it all worked out very well. Oh my God, there's like peacocks in this neighborhood. Guys, okay, thank God you have to listen to me right now. I guess you don't have to, but like, stick with me. Trust me, okay? There are peacocks near here. It's 7 a.m. I wake up. I'm trying to be zen. I'm trying to achieve inner peace. I'm in my routine. I'm like trying to get my life back together because after I move, I feel like it takes so long to like get your life back together. And Fitz and I, which Fitz is my massive, he's only 65 pounds because he's pretty lean, but he's the size of a 95-pound dog. He's so big. He's like Clifford the Big Red Dog meets Buddy the Elf. He's so friendly. He loves everyone. He's like the world's greatest like big dog. But he had never seen a horse before. And as we know, I love horses. One thing about me, I want to live on a farm or a ranch. It doesn't even matter. I just want to live where the horses are. So I go and ride pretty often, but I've never brought Fitz to the ranch that I go to because like I'm just not going to bring my dog. I feel like that would be kind of weird if I was like, my dog's coming, And I'd always wondered like what Fitz would be like around horses because he's so big and everyone always calls him a horse and everyone's like, is he around them? I'm like, no. So I take him on a very long walk because I'm trying to find the horses, right? And so we're on like a morning walk. We're like really, really far away from my house, right? But I know there's like horses somewhere. So it's 7 a.m., okay? And we're walking and listening to like Armchair Expert or like something like that. I don't know. And all of a sudden I see like far away things that look like turkeys because all of their like feathers are down. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird because we're in Dallas, Texas. Like, why are there turkeys out here? Like, I know there's stables not that far away, but like, why are there turkeys? Like, I don't understand. I get closer up and there's one that has their feathers out. And I'm like, that's actually a peacock. That is a motherfucking peacock. No one's believing me, right? Taking videos, I'm sending it to my friends and they're like, haha. Not a single person cares. Not a single person believes me, nothing, right? So I'm like, there's just no way. I'm so confused. And this time, Fitz, my perfectly behaved dog, took 36 hours potty trained, smartest dog you'll ever meet. He's never been spooked. He just like, it's so easygoing, right? He gets out. He like darts from his leash. He breaks his collar and he's running to the horse stables. The horse stables are like the fences are open. So if he wanted to, he could have gotten in. I'm running after him, yelling after Fitz. It's 7 a.m. All of a sudden, there's 20 of these like turkey peacock things running after me. Fitz is running to the horses where the horses are going to kill him because there's like 30 horses and Fitz is just a dog. Like, what is he going to do? He's running finally right before he gets into the stables. He listens to me and he comes back because he got spooked by the horses, which is now really unfortunate because I want to get a horse and now he's terrified of horses thanks to these peacocks. Then I get Fitz back and I have to like hold him. Like I have to like hold his like skin basically all the way back to my house. So it was so far away. It was such a mess. And then I'm like, there's literally peacocks. Like I'm so confused. No one believed me. Later that evening, Macy calls me and is like, hey, you want to go on a walk? I'm like, yeah, sure. We go on a walk again. What do we find? The motherfucking peacocks. I told you guys that they were there. They're not, well, they are peacocks, but they're peahens. So I guess like they look different. It's a female peacock. Go figure. And then at night, they had all their feathers out. And there's like 20 of them on one street. And some of them get on the rooftops. Like home insurance doesn't cover peacocks on your rooftop. Like, what are you going to do about that? I'm so confused. I have so many questions. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Why are there peacocks all over? I have a lot of questions. Anyways, I'm not really happy with them. We're kind of like on the outs because now Fitz is terrified of horses because he could have had a good experience meeting them, but instead he was stressed out and he ran towards them and they terrified him. So anyways, that is my peacock story. There's not really much to it other than like I was right and I need everyone to know that. I made a note so I wouldn't forget about anything. I just feel like chatting today. I feel like a lot of what people like from me on the internet is like in the self-development world. And listen, like working on yourself is exhausting. And sometimes I'm just tired. And sometimes I really do feel like overwhelmed and burnt out the past couple of months because there's just been a lot of travel and a lot of moving and a lot of things going on behind the scenes and like work stuff. And like sometimes working on yourself is exhausting. What if sometimes I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing? Which it doesn't really happen that often because I like to read. But like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like every couple of months I just can't do it. And I'm like, I just want to exist right now. Like, I just want to be. And probably next week, I'll be like, you know what? I want to be back on my, like, 6 a.m. morning routine, okay? But, like, it's just exhausting. Like, I want to just have fun, you know? Speaking of having fun, this is my version of fun. Since moving into this house, I have become a couch person. This is a huge new development in my life. My entire life, all 25 years of it, I have been a bed girl. If I'm not doing something in my house, like, that I need to be up doing something for. Like if I'm not cleaning or cooking or like working or whatever, I'm in my bed. If it's 6 p.m. and I finish my workday, I'm good. I'm in my bed. I'm not sitting on the couch. I'm not doing any of that stuff. No. I'm always in my bed. Okay. I don't work from my bed normally, but like I'm always in my bed until recently when I moved into this house and I got a fireplace. Okay. And I got there's just like beautiful lighting everywhere because it's like so much, it's a lot of windows. Do you guys know how expensive blinds are? It's actually disturbing. This just reminded me of it. There's so many windows. I had to like put down like the first payment for the blinds and like I actually was like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm literally gonna throw up. Anyways, back to the couch. Become a couch person because there's a fireplace and I sit here and I read for hours. I've never been that way before, ever. And like normally, like at night, I'm still going to my bed because I'm so lazy that once I sit down for the day or the night, like I don't want to get back up to go to bed. I want to just like close my eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just can't. I'm not the girl who can like watch a movie or a TV show on the couch at night and go to bed. Like even like it's like when I have boyfriends or something and they're like, why don't you just wanna, and I'm like, you're gonna have to like carry me. Like you don't understand. Like I can't, I need to be in bed. Okay. My bedroom, I don't have a TV in it. And I don't really care, but I have been watching shows again for like the first time in so long. I've been back on my One Tree Hill grind. But I don't know, something about being a couch girl. It's like kind of made me feel more mature. Like it's a huge new development. Also, speaking of One Tree Hill, if y'all have watched One Tree Hill, you know, but I have been back. I'm like back watching season 4 and every time I watch One Tree Hill, I'm like the biggest Sophia Bush and Chad Michael Murray fans. Like I just love them. And I love that show. It really does just feel like home. Like there's just something about One Tree Hill. Oh my God, it's so good. But in the show, like in real life, Chad and Sophia get married, right? And they were married, like, again, in real life, that sounded like they got married on the show. They were married in season 3 and like got divorced in season 3 and then their characters are still together in season 4. So like every time I watch, I'm like, this is just so crazy that their acting is so good because you would have no idea. And supposedly it's because Chad cheated on Sophia with Paris Hilton, and like who knows, that's just like everywhere. Speaking of, also gonna read her a bit more. Anyways, this one I'm really all over the place. It's crazy that I am literally paid to talk on a microphone because like what am I saying? You know what I mean? Anyways, it's so wild watching that show with all of that. I was FaceTiming a friend the other night, and we sit up FaceTiming for like 3 hours. This is so out of character for me. All about One Tree Hill, and we were like stalking all the characters, and like Jamie and the other kid in real life are still friends. Like I saw that. We like saw like an article or something about it. I don't know, but like I love that show, and it just moves me. That show, One Tree Hill, Nashville, Friday Night Lights, all give you like the similar feelings in a little bit different of ways. My top 3 shows ever, like I don't even need to watch another show. I don't watch other shows. I just watch those. I've watched them. I found my favorites, and I just watch them over and over again. If I'm going to watch a movie, it's going to be a Nancy Meyers movie, and that is pretty much it. Or I'm going to be reading, and that is it. So since we're catching up on so much, I figured I would tell you guys where I've been. Went to New York twice for work stuff, Chicago and Nashville for live shows, went to Cabo on the girls trip, Coachella last weekend because UGG invited me. Yes, I know I'm not really a huge Coachella girly. I'm a stagecoach girl. I really am. Like I'm a stagecoach girl, you know? But I was so grateful. And when UGG calls, you answer. UGG is my all-time favorite brand. There's no brand in my life that I've worn more or owned more of besides Skims ever. Like I have worn Uggs since I was in elementary school regularly. I never stopped wearing them. I've always had a ridiculous collection because it's all me and my sister asked for growing up for like birthdays and Christmas. So we would get like one pair of Uggs and like we would just collect them. We had so many Uggs, but they have been my dream brand to work with for so long, and I finally got to at Coachella, and it was the best weekend. We vlogged the entire experience, or I vlogged the entire experience. It was just so much fun, and thank you again so much to UGG for taking me. It was just such a fabulous time, and I love UGG like so much. Also, I went to the Eras tour. This was huge. I am such a Swiftie. My one complaint, my one thing, we should have had a little bit more of her debut album on. Imagine like Hey Stephen, our song should not have been a surprise song. That should have been in the set list. Like our song is what like made Taylor big. Like I remember so vividly, I was in maybe like the 2nd or 3rd grade. I was young. I think I was in 3rd or 4th actually. I was at my neighbor's house, and this is when everyone had like a computer room still, and our song had come out in the music video, and I remember watching the music video on her like computer over and over and over again, and we were so obsessed with her. And I just wish, like, imagine Picture to Burn live. Like I would die for Picture to Burn to be live. Like Hey Stephen, like all of it. Like I would have done Tim McGraw. Like imagine that. Okay. Just, I wish there was more of that. Other than that, unbelievable show, amazing. I'm wishing her well. If she can perform after this, 6-year breakup, you can do anything. But so good. It was so much fun. I went 2 nights in a row, and I had a fabulous time. I was so exhausted after. I was like bored. I was actually way more exhausted after 2 nights of the Eras tour than I was after 3 days at Coachella. Like that is how I was so tired. Okay, gonna give you guys a little bit of book talk. I'm just gonna give you the last 2 books that I've read that I've loved so much because Freedom McFadden and Ellen Hildebrand, I've been loving so much, and I'm talking about that in an upcoming episode with Danielle. We did a whole book episode. I become an Ellen Hildebrand evangelist with 5-Star Weekend. Pre-ordered. It comes out in June. So good. I need to get her on the podcast. We're like Instagram friends, but I need to get her on the podcast and do like a book episode. It was so good. And I also I've been reading so many. I'm reading one now. I've read probably like 4 or 5 Ellen Hildebrand books in the past like 6 weeks. I'm obsessed. And also, like, I want to summer on Nantucket. My life plan is to live in Texas and summer on Nantucket. And I, as of right now, can only afford like a week on Nantucket a year. So this is as close as I'm going to get is reading these books. And once you've gone to Nantucket, it's cool because it's small. Like Nantucket in general is really small. But all the places that she talks about, for the most part, in her books are real. So like I can like picture it better. You know what I mean? I have like more of a connection with it. Okay, things we left unfinished. Everyone and their mother has been talking about this book, and it is so good. I was reading it. At the beginning, I was like, it's like fine. I liked it, but I wasn't like, this isn't the best book I've ever read. And then I started reading it when I was in a hair appointment. I read 60% of my hair appointment. And then I went and got a spray tan, so I like drove. This is like the night before Coachella. This is so annoying. I drove there, and I read like between like I had 8 minutes before the appointment, was reading there. Went and got my spray tan. I was probably like, the girl probably thought I was so weird because I was like so, when you can't stop thinking about a book, and I was like right at the twist. and I like couldn't even talk. I literally like couldn't be a human being because I was just thinking about this book. Then I went, and this is why she really thinks I'm weird. I went and sat outside for 30 minutes and I finished the book because I couldn't wait the 10 minutes it would take for me to drive home. I had to finish it then and there. It was unbelievable. You have to read it. So good. Then I read the Abby Jimenez book. I don't know how to say her last name correctly. Please, someone tell me. But she is honestly easily my favorite author. Like she's 5 books out now. This was her 5th. Her first 4 books I rated 5 stars. This one I rated like a 4 or 5 because it was like cringy in parts, okay? But I don't care. Like sometimes you need a little cringe. Sometimes you need a little cringe read, okay? What's so bad about that? And it was predictable. But I don't care because I get so connected to her books and her characters and I just love them so much. Like any book she's ever written, like you need to read. So good. I don't know, I loved it. Like it was so good. Oh, my new closet. We need to talk about this. So I was planning on taking my closet that I had from IKEA from my townhouse to here, but it's like too big by 1 inch. So I had to get a new closet because it's like custom made and like it's installed. You 1 inch. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Like take an inch off to the roof? Like, that's not gonna work. You know what I mean? So I got a new closet and I went with the Container Store, which I will say is definitely a lot more expensive than what I got at IKEA. But I figured like this house is a lot nicer of a house than my townhouse and it matches, like the stuff they had at the Container Store matches. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna film in here every day. Whatever. It was an investment, I will say. It is the most beautiful closet I have ever seen in my life and it is mine. It is so unbelievable. And like now I really am a Barbie doll. I have slowly accidentally started dressing like a Barbie. Like I don't know what happened. Like I dress like a cowgirl Barbie chic. Like that's kind of like my style these days. Our psychic, Dom and I share a psychic medium. Her name's Laura. And Laura told me like in my future, she kept seeing a bunch of Barbie stuff, which is, you know, with me, very low hanging fruit. Like I'm blonde, I have big boobs and I wear pink. Like that's not like crazy. Like I like makeup and clothes, you know what I mean? So that was like not something crazy that she told me, but I always think about it because now I look at photos of myself and I'm like, oh my God. It also makes sense because Dolly Parton is actually my inspiration, which reminds me, guys, Dolly Parton is hosting the ACMs, which are in Dallas this year. And if I am not there, I will spend that entire day sobbing. I'm not kidding. Like I just need to be in the same room as her. It's down the street from me. I need to be there. I'm manifesting a deal. I'm manifesting something to come through and I will be there and it'll be a beautiful experience. But like, literally my queen. There's no one that I could ever love more in this world than Dolly Parton. I just love her so much. I've kind of been entering into like my Instagram thought era. Like it happened in Cabo. And here's the thing, like I am not the best person at like going and taking photos. Like I've gotten a little bit better because we were really living for our like G7X with flash moments. But I'm just not someone who like I don't know, like I have to really put time ahead and I have to like text a friend before, be like, we're taking photos. You know what I mean? So when I'm in a bathing suit, I'm not really thinking I need to take photos. I'm thinking I need to get a margarita. You know, like the photos are like the last thing on my mind. But I was like, you know what? This is the time that I do it. I'm here in Cabo. I've got to do it. And let me tell you, being an Instagram thought has its perks because you get way more engagement. I will say way more. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, I didn't even know you still followed me. You know what I mean? And I do think it's kind of like my new way of life. Like I'm into it. It's summer. What's the Kylie Jenner audio? Like, I'm young, whatever. My boobs are supposed to be out. Like, that kind of vibe. I made a TikTok to that audio. And I just couldn't agree more. Like, Kylie was really onto something with that. And I really appreciate that she shared her truth there because I agree. I've also been thinking a lot about how Fort Worth Kenzie is, like, much cooler than Dallas Kenzie. The stakes there are so low. Fort Worth is also my favorite place in the entire world. Like, Disney adults and Disney is, like, me to Fort Worth. And I will do anything there and I don't care. And I think it's because like I don't know anyone there and they don't know people that I know. Like for whatever reason, I have this like irrational fear. Like I hate when like a guy that I'm like talking to or know or whatever, anything, fill in the blank. I hate when they like know someone that I know, like another guy that I know and they like talk about me. Like I don't know what that is. It's probably like really deep rooted, but like I don't like that. I like it's my business and like I can tell people when I want to tell people. Like I don't know what it is about that I just like absolutely hate, but I do. I hate it so much and I just can't handle it. So I like Fort Worth because nothing is real there. It's like I'm a Sims character and it's like a Sims game and crazy things happen there and I just love it so much. I'll be there this weekend and next weekend. And I love it so much too. I have listeners who live in Fort Worth. I probably do. It's so close to Dallas. But like, I don't know. I just love it. And I'm trying to channel Fort Worth Kenzie everywhere I go because Fort Worth Kenzie is confident. She's fun. She does whatever and like doesn't care. And I just have the best time ever in Fort Worth. So I need to do that. Speaking of Fort Worth, Macy will be coming onto the podcast soon. She might even be next week. I don't know when this episode's going up, but we are recording a podcast. She is my most requested guest. It is happening. We were putting it off for a while because I was thinking we were going to do it in studio, and now I'm like, no, we're not. We're doing it here and, you know, whatever. Now that I'm like not really as much of a studio girly, like I want things in my house. I don't want to leave my house. Look at it. It's so beautiful and stunning, and I'm like the luckiest girl in the world. But also like even if it wasn't, I'm just like, I don't want to leave my house anymore, you know? So now I'm welcoming some of y'all on the show. We have this new thing called SpeakPipe, speakpipe.com/ILYSM. That link will send you to a page where you can leave a voicemail if you guys want to be on the podcast, if you have crazy stories to tell, if you want to become a friend of the show, aka anyone who's ever been a guest on the show. If you have a question, if you need advice. And listen, I'm not saying I have all the advice for you, but someone listening might. And if I don't have it, I'll offer my platform. I'll give you guys something, but I don't necessarily know what we need to do from there. So I'll be asking, we'll be phoning a friend. But we're having a few of you onto the show. We've got some juicy things happening.
Hey, Kenzie, do you have any advice for friends who don't like or agree with their friends' boyfriends? My friend has changed up in the past year and is in a toxic relationship with a boyfriend, and he keeps bringing up marriage and babies even though they're not even 20 yet. He told her she should stop taking birth control, and he doesn't care if she gets pregnant or not. She told him that if she did get pregnant, she would get an abortion, but he strongly disagreed with that and said he doesn't believe in abortion and she should not and she would have to put the kid up for adoption. I know this is a lot, but my friends and I are just unsure how to mention how toxic her relationship is without upsetting her. Like, he even told one of my best friends that she was fat to her face and didn't see anything wrong with it. I would just like to know what you think about this. Thank you.
Okay, so listen, I have hated friends' boyfriends. My friends have hated my boyfriends. And okay, what he sounds like the absolute worst, I will say. And the fat comment is disgusting. So everything about her having to carry the baby, like everything about this guy sounds disgusting. The fact that she's with him, I don't even know. Like sometimes I feel like you just are so blinded, or you think that's what you deserve. I don't know. Like he just sounds like the absolute worst. You have to like weigh your options, because when you go to your friend and say, I don't like your boyfriend and like X, Y, and Z, and I don't think he's good for you, and I don't think this is fair to you, and I don't, you know, whatever you say, even in the best way possible, 99.9% of the time you are the bad guy. And I do think there's a point in which it is worth it to be the bad guy. But I also think there's like a window when someone starts talking to a guy and someone like at the early like beginning of their relationship, there's a window in which you can say something. And then after the fact is when it like flips and all of a sudden you can't say anything. There are times when I would step in. I would step in now with the situation. I know some people like wouldn't. Personally, I just like, I talk too much. So like it would be very difficult for me to like hold that back, because I would be so concerned for this friend. I would just speak your mind from a place of like, I am very concerned. You deserve a lot better than someone who's treating you like this. You deserve a lot better than someone's talking to you like this. You just have to be willing to be the bad guy, and she might cut you out for a little bit, but she's probably going to come back at some point whenever they hopefully do break up. But he sounds like a really horrible, horrible guy. I don't know. It's just tough because like you can't, I don't know, like sometimes it doesn't matter what you say most of the time in these situations. But I do think that if there's someone who's like if there's a chance that they're going to be like harmed or something, obviously, then you like step in. I don't know. I personally would say something and just be like, you have to go from like a very like humble place, like off your high horse of like, you deserve, like I feel like you coming at it from a way of like, you deserve better and blah, 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 and like fuck him and whatever is like never the way to go. I would just be like, I've just seen like a few things that like worry me, and like, you know, I'm not, maybe, you know, they're always just like, you're not in the relationship. I don't know, guys. I personally would say something from a place of like humility and very like calm, not from a place where I'm like riled up with emotion. But yeah, that's just be like, I just like couldn't live with myself. I didn't say this to you. I support you regardless of what you do and like whatever. I don't know. That he sucks. Like he really, really, really sucks. That's probably horrible advice, by the way. I'm sorry. We were listening to these when we were in India or in Palm Springs, and Dom heard that, and Dom was like gonna murder him. So
Hi, Kenzie. I'm Charlie. I love you so much and your podcast. I mean, you are amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to ask for a little bit of advice. I've kind of had this thing going for a couple years now with my brother's best friend, and it's just been fun. Like every time he comes in town, like we both look forward to it. We hook up, whatever. But this last year, like we've talked more and he's moving back home. And I'm really nervous because I don't know, like we're kind of at the point where, we're growing up and like I would love to see where this goes because I've never had anything like this before, like even with long-term boyfriends. And I don't know. My brother doesn't love it. My sister is whatever about it. I don't know. I think I owe it to myself to like see where things go, but I also don't want to screw things up for our friend group, if that makes sense. So I just don't know what to do. And he moves back this summer. And yeah, I'm just like at a loss, I guess. And I would love your advice. So anyway, thank you. Love you. Bye.
this sounds like a book talk video where people are trying to get you to read a book. Like, it sounds like a YA romance novel. Girl, go for it. Here's the thing. I will say, when you said, I just don't want to screw up our friendship or our friend group, whatever, and I dated people in friend groups, and I have screwed up our friend group, I will say. But I do think it's worth it. Like, you have to, I don't know. I don't always think it's worth it. It wasn't worth it in my case. But, like, I think when this has been such a long time coming, you have to see it through. And I feel like your brother will have to get on board. Maybe it's just because I'm a sister, I don't really have much empathy for that. I'm trying to think of how I would feel if one of my siblings was dating a friend of mine. And that's only happened within our like friend group or within our like siblings like twice, where we've like been friends with the other person that like has been around. And like we just didn't care. It was honestly kind of like a better case scenario, but we're also sisters. My brother is too young. So I don't know how I would feel. I don't think it would bother me. I know that, but I think it would bother me if I don't like him. I don't know. I feel like guys are different with that. So I'm not really going to speak for the brother, but girl, I think you've got to see this through. You've got to have your summer romance, Summer I Turned Pretty. Like, this is your moment to shine. And I think you just have to see it through. Please let me know what happens. Like, I need a little more context. Like, is he like pursuing you actively? I sound like a 40-year-old when I say that, but no, I think you've got to do it. Like, and whatever. And honestly, here's the thing. If it screws up and quotes a friend group, like, their life moves on. Breakups happen. People split up, whatever. You're just going to regret it if you don't actually like act on it, you know? But don't force it. Like, I think like let it be known that you're into it, and then like let him like take the reins. I don't know. Is that like traditional of me? But that's just, I don't know. This sounds great. I need an update.
So one time when I was a junior in high school, my dad went to jail. And so to help, because I was on my own, my aunt moved in, and she was supposed to be like taking care of me. She had all of the passwords on my dad's accounts and stuff. So she was supposed to be taking care of the bills and such. But turns out my uncle just moved their kids into our house, both quit their jobs, and were just living off of my dad's savings. And I would literally have to call my grandma every single month to get my phone turned back on, because she would just not pay my bill, even though that's literally the only bill for me she had to pay. And so yeah, after stealing $15,000 from us, the icing on the cake was that while she was there, she got my social security number and dead ass stole my identity. So, yeah, Easter is a little bit uncomfortable, and I haven't exposed her yet, but she's one pissing me off away from me exposing the fuck out of her, to be quite honest.
Your aunt is a criminal. Like, she's actually a criminal. Like, stealing someone's identity is criminal behavior. Like, that is a criminal act. How the fuck are you guys still doing Easter together? Like, my family and I are in like a minor argument. I'm like, I can't even be in the same room. Like, I thought I had family problems, family drama. This is like a whole new level. That is crazy. Also, how long was your dad away for? Like, how long do you have to deal with that? I'm so sorry, but yeah, let's expose. If Dawn was here, Dawn would be like, let's buy a billboard, literally, like next to her house, next to her place of work, so everyone knows. Like she would be scheming and scheming and scheming. I'm not as petty, so I can call Dawn and we can figure out something, craft up a little plan for you. That is so crazy. Like actually so crazy. That is not the vibe. That is not, to say the least. I just don't know how you still do Easter together. That's so wild to me. That could just never be me. You're a bigger person than I am, but you should definitely expose her. Also, that's criminal behavior. Like, you can get, like, what? I don't know. I have so many questions. So for those of y'all who have made it this far into the episode, I do want to have a little rebrand chat just to like gauge your interest, you know, feel it out. Also, like, I obviously make the show for you guys, so I do need to hear back from y'all. But I want to up the video production. I need to like hire someone who can set it up and make it look better and like sit and make sure things are recording and like just have a better like sense of it. I do want to rebrand the show to something like Kenzie's House, Kenzie's Home, like something like that. Not necessarily that name, but that vibe, because I feel like my whole life revolves around my house. Like my house is the house that everyone goes to, and I'm like a host, and I just feel like I have so many different things going on where it's like I Love You So Much podcast, the Okine brand, KE book club, like so many things that are like separate. And I feel like if I were to make it like Kenzie's Home, like then at least like Breadwinning Housewife, oh that's another one, Breadwinning Housewife and the book club like go underneath it. I want to do a lot more solo episodes where I'm like talking to you guys, doing like confessions like this, talking about like hosting. Like I'll do an entire episode on hosting, an entire episode on like whatever. Keep doing book club episodes, and then do guest every so often. But a lot of the guests just being more recurring guests, because I find that those are the episodes or the podcasts that I like. When it's like you have like 5 guests of your friends that like will come on periodically. I like that idea better. And then just like building a kind of like impromptu set in this house, but also just like using the house in general. But I want it to be more like just more me. I feel like it's more me. Like I Love You So Much was, you know, the past 5 years of my life. But I do think that we could just do a little refresh and it would make more sense and align more and less travel and more like in my house. And I just feel like that makes sense. I will still travel for like certain guests, definitely. But I do want the basis of it to be in this house, and I want the video production to be better. I want like a videographer to come in and like whoever comes over, we like make a drink at the beginning and it's like for like the video only. Like, I don't know. I just like I want stuff like that. You know what I mean? And to just have the production be like a little bit higher. But I don't know exactly. I do have like a vision of what I want, and I do want to change the name. I've never been super attached to this name. So I don't know. Like, let me know what you guys think. I just think that like, and no, I don't want to name the podcast Breadwinning Housewife, by the way, because I feel like that's just going to be like girl boss eventually. Like you just like are so tired of it and hate it. You know what I mean? So it would have to be like a chill, easygoing name, but I want it to be more like me, like books, everything. Hosting, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I just got back from Coachella, guys, so like my brain isn't really working. But I do definitely want to do that. I have a note in my phone, like I have for everything. And it's like Kenzie's rules. And it would be like a 6-week cycle. 1 book episode, 1 navigating your 20s, 2 solos, 2 funny, like friend ones, whatever. With like different segments and just like, I don't know, fun. Names like House Guest, Kenzie's House, Friends and Family, Friends Only, Friend of Mine. I don't know, like something like that. It could be totally different. If you guys have any good names, please let me know. But yeah, I'm really interested. And if y'all know any production people in Dallas or even any like college kids that are good at it, like whatever, I don't know. I feel like I needed to get that out there so we could chat and talk. You know what I mean? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. As always, subscribe, leave a nice rating and review, DM me, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all those things. Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you next Thursday. Bye. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by giving it a nice thumbs up and subscribe for more.